Hi everybody, my name is Brooke. Welcome to the live streaming of Black Swan Yoga. So this is free for you guys, but if you guys want to, right now during this time we are still accepting donations. It goes to our studios and still supporting our teachers during this time. This is a 45-minute flow designed for all levels. So take your practice where you need to. At any time you need to, come down to your mat, relax in child's pose. Feel free to do that. Always feel free, again, in all my classes, if you've ever been to them, you can always amp up your practice as much as you want. But as long as you're listening to your body, you're doing exactly what you need right now in this crazy time. This flow is about taking control of what we have control over. So right now, so many things are out of our hands and it's chaos, but coming back to our mats and just realizing that we have control over ourselves, our bodies, our breath, our mind. So that's what this practice is about, coming to your mat and just finding peace. So we're gonna go ahead and start. Just finding an easy seated position, whatever is comfortable for you, so you can have crisscross legs, or you can be in lotus. Just finding an easy seat. So from here, just ground down through your tailbone. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Just start to notice everything around you. And then know that for these next 45 minutes, these are just for you. Everything that's going on outside of this world doesn't matter for these next 45 minutes. So just take a deep breath in, fill up through the nose. When you get to the very top, pause. Open mouth, exhale, just let it go. As we inhale, think about inhaling all the good. Pause when you get to the top once again. Open mouth, exhale, exhale that all that is bad no longer serves you. One more time, think about inhaling love, the sense of peace. Open mouth, exhale, let go of any fear, anxiety that you have. Think about something that you want to dedicate this practice to. Maybe that sense of peace or the sense of having control. Maybe you want to dedicate it to somebody else, send love to someone that needs it. Seal those intentions with a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Good. On your next inhale, lift your right arm up overhead, walk your left arm out as far as it can. And as you exhale, start to lean over to the side, open up through your side body. Maybe you even find your gaze up towards your ceiling. Walk your hands out a little bit further and send your breath to your right ribs. Exhale, start to pinch your shoulder blades together, open your heart to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. One more time, inhale, pinch your shoulder blades together, open your heart. Exhale, elbows to knees. Good, inhale all the way up. Exhale, sit up tall. As we inhale, lift your left arm up and over, and exhale, walk your hands out. Lean to the side, and keep in mind to keep your tailbone and both hip bones down on your mat. Tendency is to lift up, make sure you're nice and grounded. As you inhale, expand through your side body, move your ribs with your breath. Good, one more big inhale, reach to the side. Exhale, pinch your shoulder blades together, open your heart. Exhale, elbows to your knees, really crunch in. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Good, inhale, coming back all the way up. Exhale, start to fall forward and walk your fingertips out as much as they'll go. Maybe your forehead comes to the ground or your mat. Start to feel the pull from your shoulder blades. Then from here, walk yourself into a tabletop position. So tabletop, shoulders right over your wrist, hips are right over your knees. Just start to make some movement that feels good for your body. So you can go into some cat-cows, moving your spines. Maybe you want to wiggle back and forth. Whatever feels sticky in your body, just go ahead and move yourself there. So if you want to come forward to like an upward facing dog or cobra, moving from child's pose. These are just some options. If you want to also warm up your wrists, just start to stretch them out. Some other things, you're moving your hips. Again, this is just for you right now. Feel whatever feels good for you and just keep moving. Always continue to connect movement with breath. That's the whole point of our practice. So when you're starting to feel nice and warm, come back to your tabletop position. We're gonna tuck your toes. Send your hips up high for your first downward facing dog. So hips to the ceiling. And just pedal it out here for a moment. Starting to warm up the back of your legs. Bending one knee at a time, then the other. Just think about trying to get your heel down to your mat. And then moving your chest towards your thighs. So making sure we're not here, but here. Hips up, chest down. And when you're here, you can shake your head yes, shake your head no. And just again, maybe you dip one shoulder at a time. Just find movement to start opening your bodies up. Good. From here, take one breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. As you inhale, look forward, and then we're gonna tiptoe all the way to the tops of our mats, coming into a standing forward fold. We're gonna do ragdoll first, so just let the top half of your bodies fall over the bottom of half. You can just relax your arms, or maybe grab opposite elbows, just sway side to side. You can take a deep bend in your knees. If you have really tight hamstrings, maybe just bend one at a time. And then everyone take your hands to your low back. Interlace your fingers. And then we're gonna extend your arms up. And if you can, start to drop them forward to the front of your mat. Once again, take what you need. Bend your knees as much as you need. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Next is completely relax. Maybe unclench your jaw, part your teeth. Then finally, bring your hands back to your low back. Take a deep bend in your knees. We're gonna inhale, roll all the way up. Last thing to come up is your head and your neck. And then we're just gonna draw your hands down your back, lifting your heart up. Good, coming back forward, bringing your hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway for a flat back. Keep your neck nice and long so your gaze is down, maybe at the front of your mat. Hands can stay at your mat or hands can come to your shins. Just making sure you're extending nice and long through your spine. Good, exhale, fold. Plant your hands. We're gonna step back to a plank pose. So plank, shoulders right over your wrist. Hips are down in line with your shoulders and ankles, so you're a nice straight line. Option to modify, come to your knees. Take a breath in here up at the top. Then exhale with your arms right in by your sides, nice and slow. Come all the way down to your mat, untuck your toes. Inhale, lift from your low back and your glutes for low cobra. Once again, nice long necks. Exhale, fold 2 more of those. Maybe lift your knees up off of your mat. Inhale, low cobra pose. Little to no weight in your hands. Exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale, lift up as high as you can. Exhale, fold down. Tuck your teeth, tuck your toes. Maybe this time come to your knees first, or push straight up into plank pose. So as you inhale, shoot up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, take in just 2 breaths here. Nice deep breaths, filling up your lungs, letting go. Then on your next inhale, look forward, bend your knees. You can step or float forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, nice strong backs will come all the way to extended mountain pose. Reach up if you feel like it. Add in the back bend, nice firm cores. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale for chair pose, Utkatasana. So we're gonna hold this for just a moment so we can all find this pose because we'll be back here later. So here in this pose, make sure that you're sinking nice and low. Your chest is nice and up. Fingers reaching for the ceiling. Maybe your gaze can even follow your thumbs. Make sure your bellies are nice and firm. Pull your belly butt to your spine. Sink down a little bit more. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. This time you can step or jump back. If you jump back with bent elbows. Lower all the way down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Bring your big toes to touch. Then inhale, reach your right leg up and back, toes point down. Exhale, knee to nose. Round up your back like cat pose. Inhale, 3-legged downward dog. Exhale, this time step your right foot in between your hands. Lower your back heel, rise up for warrior one. So your hips are square to the front of your mat. So think about pulling your right hip back, left hip forward. Sink down nice and low, knee right over your ankle, or try to. Sink a little bit lower, grow up a little bit taller through your torso. Then exhale, hands down to your mat. Step back with your right foot. Exhale, lower, halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, left side. Inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Lower your right heel 45 degrees. Rise up nice and strong. Warrior one. This time, right hip moves forward, left hip moves back. You can even take your hands to your hips and make sure that they are square to the front. If they don't quite get square, you can move out your foot a little bit. That way you can have a little bit more room to twist or move. Sink down just a little bit lower. Good, exhale, hands down to your mat. Step back with your left foot. Option to keep this foot up, or you can lower it. Lower down, halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Big breath here. Fill all the way up. Open mouth, exhale. Look forward, inhale. Exhale this time, stop or float. All the way to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale for your Utkatasana again, chair pose. Good, sink nice and low. Exhale, stand up, hands heart center. Good. One more time. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, hands to your mat, step or float. Float through your vinyasa. Or option to skip, everyone can meet in your downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg back. Exhale, this time we're gonna take your right foot outside of your right hand. So it's a wider stance, a wide runner's lunge. Then we're gonna lower to your back knee, untuck your toes. Lizard's lunge. So option to stay here, or you can come down to your elbows. And also here, we're just trying to get into our hips, because if you like me, and in this self-distancing, Netflix has been your best friend. So your hips are probably gonna be really tight right now. and your hamstrings from sitting so much. So what we're gonna do here is just try to open your hips. So if you wanna drop your right knee over to the side, you can add in a twist. If you wanna add in your quad stretch, grab your back foot. Finding your movement here, just to open. Also your hip flexors, the front of your thigh. Those are gonna be really tight too. So just starting to think about opening the muscles that we're not using right now. If you wanna lean back, start to stretch your hamstring. Make sure you try to lean with a flat back, so reach your chest forward, then lower down. Once again, reach out with your chest, then lower down. Good. Rocking back forward. Step your right foot all the way back. Option to come straight to downward facing dog, or you can take in a vinyasa if you want. Adding just a little bit more heat to your practice with those vinyasas. Inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, bring it forward. Step outside of your left heel. Lower onto your back knee. Just finding peace with this first before you move on. Starting to sink down, lowering your hips to your mat. Then you can come to your elbows if that's where you want to go for lizard's lunge. Using your breath to find depth in everything that you do here. So as you exhale, just try to think about sinking deeper into every pose that you do. Just finding a little bit more space with every breath. You can walk back up to your hands. Bring your left knee out to the side. Add in a twist. You can look to the ceiling. Once again, you can bend your back leg, reach for the top of your foot. Just adding in a little bit of a quad stretch by doing that. Just find what feels good for you. When you're ready, push back, half splits. Foot still out in front of you, maybe angled off a little bit to the side. Reach your chest forward. Then exhale, lower chest towards your leg. Good, inhale one more time, reach forward with your chest. Then exhale, lower down. Good, rocking back forward. Tuck your back toes. Send your left up and back, downward facing dog, or take a vinyasa here. Taking 2 breaths, downward facing dog. Then look forward. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step or float to the top of your mats. Inhale, lift halfway. Extend forward, exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Sink nice and low, as low as you can. Good, take one more big breath in. Exhale, stand up, hands around center. Here we go. You guys are warm and ready? You're gonna move. Okay, here's moving on to our flow part of this practice. Inhale, chair pose. We're gonna lift your toes up here. So the ball of your foot and your heel are nicely planted down into your mat. Tuck your tailbone, squeeze your belly button back to your spine, sink lower. And imagine there's a block between your thighs. And you really want to squeeze into your midline and hold that block in place between your thighs. So imagine that block. Squeeze as tight as you can. Bring your hands to heart center. Take in a breath, then exhale. Twist to the right, hooking your left elbow outside of your right knee. Modification for this is to stay upright. So if that starts to really twist and feel funky, just stay up here. Use your core to twist. Or option to come here. Or if you want to take it up a notch, extend your arms up. Bring your hands back to heart center wherever you are. Nice, slow, and control. Take your left foot, start to bring all your weight into your right foot. Step back for lunge, a twisted crescent lunge. So using and pulling your belly button back, use your core to twist. Your gaze can come up to the ceiling if you want. Good, take in one more breath here. Let it go. Then inhale, cartwheel open to warrior two. So your back foot finds the mat parallel to the short end of your mat. Think about opening your hips. Draw your left hip back, right hip forward, right knee right over your ankle. Tendency is it to move in, let it be right over. Arms are down and relax down your back. Good. Reach forward, inhale. Reach back, reverse warrior. So your hand can come down your back leg. Or if you want, reach around your low back and extend back, open through your side body for your reverse warrior. One more breath in and reach back a little bit further. Exhale, extended side angle. So reaching to the front of the room, options here. You can rest your right arm onto your thigh, but make sure you're not dumping down. Really lift up. Open and think about lifting your heart to the ceiling. Gaze can follow underneath your left arm. Option to go a little bit further is to place your right hand down all the way on your mat. Or if you have a block or something like a pillow, even if you're at home, you can place it under your right hand. Good. Take your left hand down. Move your right hand outside of your right foot. Step back. Optional vinyasa. Or downward facing dog. Moving on to your left side. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Whoop, just kidding. Let's move that left foot right back down. Look forward, jump or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Straight into your chair pose, lift up. Then move your hands heart center. As you exhale, twist to the left side. So once again, your right elbow is now outside of your left knee. Really want to stack your elbows, stack your palms. If you're taking that modification, twist. Make sure that your right knee is not poking out in front of your left. Good, squeeze. Remember that imaginary block? Squeeze your block. Twist a little bit more. Keep yourself where you are. Then slowly bring all your weight to your left foot. Step back with your right. Twisted crescent lunge. Good. One more big breath in. Let it go. Inhale, open up to warrior two. Sink nice and low. Once again, remember, lift your shoulders up and relax them down your back. Gaze will follow outside or to the front of your fingers. Think about the space in front of your middle finger. Left hip draws back, or your right hip draws back. Left knee over your left ankle. Sink a little bit more. Inhale, reach forward, then back, reverse your warrior. Good. Send energy out through your left fingertips. Don't let them be like this. Really nice and firm. Reach back. One more breath in. Reach a little bit further. Exhale. Extended side angle. Reaching your right arm up and forward. Rotating your chest open. Lifting up out of this pose. So not sinking down. Lift up. Engage. Good. Remember, you can take this to different places. Lower your right hand down. Left hand comes out. Take your vinyasa if you want to. Good. So we're going to add on to this, and what we've already done, we're going to pick up just a little bit of speed. Think about one breath per one movement. Look forward. Bend your knees on your exhale, step or walk forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands center. Take in the breath and sink lower. Exhale, elbow out to your right knee. Step back with your left foot, twisted crescent lunge. Find your balance. Inhale, open up, warrior two. Sink down. Inhale, reverse. Good, exhale, extend that side angle pose. From here, we're moving on, adding on. We're gonna open up and spin open into crescent lunge. So really nice and controlled, move forward. You're up on your back toes. If you need to bend your knee, start to feel your hip flexor open. You can tuck your pelvis, sink a little bit lower. Or extend if you have the space available. Good. Take in a breath. Then exhale, start to bend your knee and hover your knee off of the mat. Pinch your shoulder blades together, cactus arms. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, cactus, bend your knee. Inhale, lift up one more. Exhale, down. On the next inhale, we're gonna come straight into warrior three. All your weight to your right foot, we're gonna lift up. Make sure your left hip is down, reaching forward. Hands can be here, they can be here, or they can be here if you need some support. Good. Move your bellies up, firm through your core. Find your breath. Think about your right foot just rooting down into your mat, through the ball of your foot, your pinky toe, your heel. Then from here, you're gonna start to lift up. Good, standing all the way up. Bend your left knee. Take hold of your left foot. Stay here for your quad stretch. Hand and foot. Or take the inside of your left leg, or your left foot, and start to kick up into your hand. Right hand comes out in front of you, dancer's pose. So good. Might find some little bit of wiggles, that's perfectly normal. What helps with that is finding a drishti. So drishti in yoga is something that's not moving, a focal point. So kick up as high as you can, then come just back to standing. Good, reach your left leg out in front of you, hug your knee in close. Stay here if you want to take your left feet, or your left big toe, with your pointer and middle finger, extend out in front of you. Hand to foot pose. Good, wherever you are. Start to lean forward, reach down for your mat, standing split. Driving your left leg up, forehead to your shin. From here, step back with your left foot. Right foot can come to meet, vinyasa or downward facing dog. Or option B, from standing splits, taking a little time to play with handstands, so finding a little bit of air, and then you can take a vinyasa from there. That's just an option. You can play around with it if you want to. Back to downward facing dog, we'll all meet there. 3 breaths here. In these quiet moments, you can come back to whatever your intention was for this practice. Check in with yourself, see where you are. Good, on your next inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Move to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise up halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale for your chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands, heart center. Right elbow outside of your left knee. Find your twist. Nice and slow step back with your right foot, twisted crescent lunge. Inhale, open up to warrior two, sink down, exhale. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Good, inhale, here's where we added on last time. Crescent lunge, swing your arms up on your right toes. Breathe in, find where you need to be. Think about opening through your right hip flexor. Nice and strong through your left foot. Reach up a little bit taller. On your exhale, hover your knee 3 times with your breath. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. On your last one, shoot up to warrior 3. Whatever warrior 3 works for you. Last time my hands were down here. That's just if you needed a little bit extra support. Hands can be wherever you want them. I'm gonna have them in airplane this time. Point your right toes down. Try to bring your right hip in line with your left, so you're perfectly square with your mat. Working on finding balance and rooting through your left foot. Good. Then finally, we start to make our way up, start to lift from your chest. Bend your right knee. Option to just grab your foot, work through your quad stretch, reach your hips forward, or take the inside of your right foot and start to open up for dancer's pose. Left hand will reach forward, kick up as high as you can, find your dristy, that focal point. Kick up even higher. Good, and then start to let down. Bring your right leg in front of you. Hold it in close, love your leg. Stay there. Option to take your right pointer finger, middle finger, yogi fingers to your big toe. Try to pull your right shoulder back and stay nice and lifted, straight from your head to your toes. Then wherever you are, come to standing splits. Right leg up, forehead to your shin. You can play around with this pose by taking one hand to your ankle. Maybe you take both. Then finally, when you're ready, step back with your right foot, step back with your left, or you can do that little handstand thing, and vinyasa. Inhale, reach your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Move. 3 breaths. Exhale, let it go. Good. We're gonna do that one more time. It's all together. Moving a little bit quicker. 1 breath, 1 movement. You've got this. Here we go. Look forward, bend your knees, half step to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, twist to the right. As you inhale, step back with your left foot. Open up, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Here we go. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, dip your knee. Inhale. Exhale, maybe start to lean back, open your heart. Inhale. Last one. Exhale, lower. Here we go, warrior 3. Inhale, reach up. Maybe try something different than you did last time. Then start to lift your chest up. Grab the inside. Your left foot, reach forward. Dancer's pose. Here for 2 breaths. Breathe in. Let it go, don't hold your breath. Push up a little bit more. Then start to lift up. Left foot comes forward. Grab your knee. Grab your big toe. Sweep it back, standing splits. Play around with this pose as much as you want. You can try fun things like binds, or just whatever you feel like doing. Playing with handstand. Whenever you're ready, step back with your left foot, vinyasa or downward facing dog, or fun little handstand thing. If you've been to my classes, you know I love to play with inversions, so that's That's why I do that, in case y'all want to spice up and try something new. Good. Look forward, bend your knees, move to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, twist to the left. Hook your knee or just twist. You know your modifications now. Then step back with your right foot. Inhale, open warrior two. Sink for your exhale. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach out. Good. Inhale, open up. Crescent lunge. 3 here. Exhale, duck your knee. Inhale, open. Remember, you can add in your back bend. Look up. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. From here, inhale, warrior 3. Airplane, you choose. Start to lift up. Grab the inside of your right foot. Dancer's pose. Once again, find your point of focus. Breathe. Reach all the way up. From here, start to stand. Hand to knee, hand to foot. Your choice. Then sweep your right foot back. Standing splits. Playing with this pose, exploring different options. Try to do something you haven't done before. That's how we learn to grow, is doing something we haven't done. So here we go, vinyasa, handstand, vinyasa. Coming back to downward facing dog. Find your breath. Or come to your knees. Push back, child's pose. So let your big toes touch. Let your knees be as wide as your mat. Or if that doesn't feel good for your hips or your knees, you can bring your thighs together. Sinking down into this pose. From here, we're going to move back into your tabletop position. Tuck your toes. Back to downward facing dog. From here, we're going to lift your right leg up. Bend your knee. We're going to stack your hips. So pulling your heel to your glute. Start to bring your knee to the sky. Make sure that your right shoulder is squared down to your mat. Tendency is to open. Bring it down. If it feels good and you want to add in a back bend today, start to slowly lower your right foot down to the side. Lift your hips up for wild thing. Good. We're going to start to come back over. Right leg lifts, then lowers. Lift your left leg up. Bend your knees, heel to your glute, knee to the sky. Left shoulder down. Stay here for this nice hip opener. You can move your leg around if you want to. If you want to add in your back bend, slowly lower your foot down first. Left hand comes up. Lift your hips up. Reach out. Wild thing. Good. Coming back nice and slow. Left hand comes down first. Left leg lifts. Come back down, downward facing dog. From here, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right wrist, pigeon pose. So your ankle towards your left wrist. What we want to do is make sure that your hips are nice and square. So what we're going to do first is we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to let gravity help bring ourselves down into our hips. So tendency a lot is for people to get in this pose and just go straight down. What we're going to do is stay up nice and tall first. just start to work back and forth. Move where you start to feel that kind of tightness in your right hip. Just start to move gently, rock back and forth. And maybe you can find more space wiggling your ankle up. Shin can be parallel with the front of your mat. Make sure that your left foot is straight behind you. Then we're gonna inhale and start to lift your chest up. Then exhale, nice and slow, start to lean out forward. You can come to your elbows, then reach all the way out. Forehead to your mat. And always know that wherever you land in this pose is not where you have to stay. You can always find different movements. If you want to add in a twist, reach your left arm underneath, your right arm can extend forward. And you start to open your chest for a twist, and you start to feel a little bit more sensation through the outside of your right hip. You can even bring your hands together, maybe look up to the ceiling. Just finding some comfort in this pose, letting go of anything that you're holding on to. With every exhale, just sinking a little bit more. Slowly start to lift up, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Lift up one more time, big breath in. Exhale, start to tuck your back toes. Send your right leg back up. Maybe add in some hip circles here. Lower your right leg. Inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, half pigeon pose on your left side. So trying to get your right hip down in line with your left. Think about pulling your left hip bone towards your back ankle. So you're nice and square. Once again, just find movement, rock back and forth. You can engage your muscles and lift up. Come back down. Add in some twists. Wiggle your ankle maybe a little bit forward if you can. Then inhale, reach your chest up. Exhale, start to slowly lower as far as it feels good. If you have blocks of pillows again at home, you can bring them underneath your elbows and you can start to work down to get yourself a little bit lower if you have really tight hips. Props are wonderful for this pose. And also stick a block underneath your hip if it starts to feel a little too much. That helps lift your hip to be in line with your right hip. So again, just come back to your breath. If you'd like to add in that twist again, your right arm will thread underneath your left. Walk your left hands up. If you'd like to add in an extra twist, palms together, elbows stacked. One more breath here. Start to walk your hands back up underneath your shoulders. Back toes tuck. Send your left leg back for some hip circles, whatever you need. And finally, come down to your knees. Swing your legs around in front of you. And we're gonna roll down onto your backs. Bring your knees into your chest. Keep your right knee up, extend your left leg out in front of you. Take your right hand down to your side, and then let your knee fall over to the left side, gaze over to your right fingertips. If you haven't already, maybe start to just close your eyes. Slow down your breath. Inhale, come to center. Give your right leg a lug just one more time. And take and switch your legs. Left leg comes up. Left hand drops to your side and twist. Think about keeping both shoulders down on your mat. Inhale, come to center. Bring both legs up and just rock back and forth, massaging out your low backs. And taking this moment just to get anything out of your system that you need, like a shoulder stand, plow, happy baby. You got a ninja baby by extending one leg at a time. Whatever completes your practice here. Just taking those last few moments. And when you're ready, come back to your knees into your chest. Then bring your forehead up to your knees. Squeeze every muscle that you can. Your eyes, your jaw, your toes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. One more big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Falling into your last pose of the day, Shavasana. Just let go. Let your body feel heavy. Surrender to your space for these next few moments. Slowly just start to rock your head back and forth. Start to wiggle your fingers, move your toes.